now I just want to touch on the truth about listing better items. All right, so we got 55 orders going out on eBay, another 6 on Poshmark, totaling a little over $1,400 in sales. Let's get to pulling and packing to see what sold. First up is these new Tag G-Star Raw men's jeans, size 31-32. These took about almost 2 years to sell. They were priced a little high, but I did end up taking an offer this morning of $44 plus shipping. We have some Talbot's women's chino pants, size 14, sold for $19 plus shipping. All right, and we have these American Eagle women's skirt, size 14, so a nice size, and I got this for $2. Sold this pretty quickly in under a month for $13 plus $8.95 shipping. All right, now I just want to touch on the truth about listing better items. So since I've been doing this, really making it a priority to list better items, you can see total sales are up 30%, well, total amount, quantity 29, gross sales up 10.6%. But the nice number here is my net is going up 31.5%. So that is a beautiful thing to see. Really liking focusing on the better items. I don't know if this is kind of what you guys see on your end or whatever you see, but organic impressions, they're up 154% since I've made it a priority to just list the best of the best. And that's what I love to see, is not only I'm picking up better items and yeah, my cost of goods is going up, but you could see it reflective in the data, not only in the impressions, but the sales. So, I really want to stress that now in today's competitive, reselling market, trying to stress just going out sourcing a little bit more. Don't give up on just what everyone else is doing. Going to Goodwill and just calling it a day. Really make it a priority to seek out other thrift stores, to seek out other ways to get inventory, and make it top priority to pick up the best items possible. So I don't mind now I'm spending, triple, 4x what I used to spend, but now the items that I'm getting in my inventory are so much better, and it actually makes this business so much more enjoyable when you're listing the quality, the good stuff. Now I just want to go over some of the comments that came on the channel over the last few days, and I just made a short about the prices at Goodwill lately. Here in my area, they've gone up dramatically. $20+ for a pair of Levi's, $25 for a pair of Lucky Brand jeans. People are just saying you're better off going to Ross, you're better off going to Kohl's. You can find those same items new for cheaper. Goodwill needs that money to pay for that nice Goodwill sign. I've never seen pants over $5 at any of my Goodwill for free stuff. That's just crazy. So that kind of just stresses the importance of, maybe not just going to a Goodwill on, your sourcing route. And this just depends on where you live too. Like I live in the Pacific Northwest. Generally, prices are just a little crazy here, not only for clothing and other items, but house prices are up, gas prices are up. Everything's up in this area. So maybe you live in Mississippi or whatever, and Goodwill's different there. But for here in this area, I made it a really important, top priority to not just go to Goodwill, but go to other thrift stores and other ways to source inventory. Because if I'm paying $20 for a pair of Levi's, I'm not going to make any money on that. So I can't depend my business just on going to one Goodwill and being done with it. I'm going to have to seek out flea markets. I'm going to have to create a Facebook ad. I'm going to have to cold call a couple thrift stores. Maybe they have suppliers that are willing to sell me, whatever, selected pieces from their inventory. So going to have to be creative in this area. Goodwill Outlet is probably going to see an influx of stuff in my area because how many consumers are paying $25 for a pair of Levi's? I don't think too many. One of my favorite models of a Wrangler jeans to sell, and that is the model Q Baby. more of a Western type of jean for women. This is a size 20W, so a plus size. The cool thing is though, I just listed this a month ago and sold for full price of $24.95 plus shipping. So these haven't even been listed for more than 24 hours. They're just some Columbia men's PFG performance pants. These are size 38, 32, and they bought it for full price about an hour after I listed them for $25 plus $8.95 shipping. I like to pick up a lot of performance fishing gear at the right price, of course. You know, like 2XL, 3XL, their Omni Shade button-up shirts, and then their performance fishing gear pants. Sometimes they're convertible even, so that's what I look out for, but I'm definitely not paying more than a couple dollars for PFG stuff. So I am almost done consolidating my inventory here. I just got 2 more racks to consolidate, and I end up freeing up about 5 full racks. Last time I consolidated was about, I want to say 3 months ago, 4 months ago. So that's the beauty of this system, guys. Like, if you don't have a ton of space, this is the way to go, because you could consolidate every week, every month, as long as you're selling items, and you can make as much space as you can, you know, as the items are coming in, you're selling them, you know, say you're selling just as many as you're listing, then you can just consolidate every week to every month and free up that space again. So that's the beauty of this inventory system. You see it very common with clothing sellers, but if you're getting started and you're in bins, that's okay, but I think the investment down the road in these racks and these boxes and these poly bags are worth it, because then you could just keep adding on and adding on. So you can find it all linked down below. I have all the resources there, the shelves, the boxes, and the poly bags if you're looking to get into this system. This is just a pair of women's cabbie jeans, size 12, sold for $14 plus shipping. We had these new tag Abercrombie & Fitch skinny jean sell. These were from a storage unit purchase years ago. Took a while to sell. You can see that SKU number is not recent. So $29 plus shipping. We had these Nautica men's pants that were returned once before, but they ended up selling on a best offer of $20 plus shipping. This is a wonderful Lane Bryant women's plus size cardigan that was listed about 4 or 5 months ago. Sold for actually $15 plus shipping. Not an item that I would be picking up again going into the future. And you're going to see a lot of other sales coming up are going to be the lower end sales, items that were deeply discounted that I'm just looking to get out of my store. My whole store is in a full renovation mode. I'm getting rid of a lot of the older items. I'm trying to go from 10,000 item store maybe down to a 5, 6, 7,000 item store of just good quality stuff. So I'm accepting offers on a lot of the junk that I put in my store about this time last year. Here's just a men's plain Columbia plaid button-up shirt. It's a 2 extra tall. So I only picked it up because of the size, and I believe I spent about $2 to $3 on this. It did sell fast. You can see the SKU number there. So I listed this about a couple months ago, 1-2 months ago. Took a best offer of $12 plus shipping. Now here is a good quality brand. This is a good men's jean brand, also women's okay, is Hudson. So these are some new tag Hudson jeans that were maybe listed 1.5 years, almost 2 years ago now. Sold for, I think, $29. Had them listed pretty high, I think around $50, $60, because they were new tags. Size 32 slim fit, so not the most trending style right now. But yeah, they sold on a best offer of $28 plus shipping. So now I just listed this item 2 days ago, picked it up from one of my favorite thrift stores. The brand is Fred Perry. So a very nice European brand, sold very quickly. 1 to 2 days after listing. So new with tags, sold for $59.95 plus shipping. If you ever find the brand Fred Perry out there, you're gonna wanna pick it up. These were some American Eagle men's pants that actually were returned once before. Just some men's chino pants, American Eagle, size 32-30, sold on a best offer of $12 plus shipping. So I'm not familiar with this brand at all. Reason why I picked it up is just it's a women's camo tank top by the brand Rae, R-A-E. Probably came from a bulk bale that I purchased a year ago. Sold actually for $14. All right, now I want to get into a comment that came on the podcast that I did recently with Brian Roning. Very good discussion about what it takes to go full-time. This comment's from Drew, and he makes a really good point nowadays. He goes, it's definitely a grind mentally more than anything. For me, I wouldn't recommend full-time unless you already know what you're doing. And like Brian said, he didn't have many expenses and it was still a hustle. I like to think I do well, but I also have a wife that makes great money. It took me a full year to go full-time before I was consistently netting 1K a week. Time management is huge. I spent way more time with all the little necessary things that come with it when the whole point was to open up my time. So positive note, once you finally get to that point that you want it to be, then it will feel great. So it is fulfilling once you get to that point, and especially now more than ever, it's more competitive. It may just take a little bit longer for you to hit that full time, and everyone has their own metrics, right? Some people are trying to make 1K a month, some people are trying to make 1K a week. You definitely got to figure out how much you want to get paid per hour and then try to reverse engineer it. You got to figure out how much do I want to make a year? What does that mean to how many items I'm listing per day? You know, you got to kind of backtrack it, break it down, you know, figure out your overall goal on how much you want to make per year, and then break it down and reverse engineer it and just figure out what it comes out to. We all are trying to hit different metrics, right? But that is a really good point, is that it is a grind, right? I think any business that you start nowadays is going to take some time and effort to put energy into. I know for me, just starting this side real estate business took me like 6 to 8 months for me to even learn some of the concepts in the language, in the terminology, just to even understand what to even do. So yeah, it takes time. I don't think anything that's worth building is going to be as easy as just clicking a button. Like, it's gonna take some time. So give your guys some grace. And that's why I wanna bring more people on the channel that are doing full-time stuff and then discovering what it took for them to go full-time. Because from gathering all the info from people I've talked to, there was a grind. There was a season of grind. So don't get discouraged if it takes a little longer than you thought it was going to take. As long as you make a reasonable amount of progress in a reasonable amount of time. An awesome brand that I just picked up last week is the brand Proof. These are some performance pants. The model is the Nomad pant. And these typically sell between $40 and $60. So I picked them up, but then I came home and I found they had a sewing defect right on the zipper. So I did list them for $29.95 and took a best offer of $20 plus shipping, because someone who is going to wear these pants is probably going to want to repair that sewing defect. But be on the lookout for Proof performance pants. It's a good pickup. Picked up a bunch of these online arbitrage last November. This is just a Blue Jays Major League Baseball hat. New with tags, obviously. They did take a while to start picking up. It is baseball season, right? So took a best offer of $20 plus shipping. I picked up these hats for I think $5 a pop. So now they're starting to move. There are things that people like to pass up, and that is the Lee Extreme Motion elastic waist jeans. People pass them up all the time. At the bins, at the thrift store. If I could find these for $3, sometimes even $5 or less, I'm gonna pick them up. Not because they sell for a lot of money, but because they sell fast. These were listed about a month or two ago, and they sold for $16 plus $8.95 shipping, and I'm probably all in about $2 to $3 for these jeans. All right, now I don't sell a ton of bags, but this is a really nice Eddie Bauer canvas kind of duffel bag. Let's see, it was originally $150, and this sold for $49.95 plus shipping. Probably gonna put it in a big old box and send it ground advantage. So it should cost me about $10 to ship this out. So last week I sold 2 awesome blazers by this brand. It's called Spire and McKay. These are the wool pants that I also picked up in the same brand. Picked them up last week, and these sold for $30 plus shipping. So not as much as the blazers, but definitely a good brand to be looking out for. Sold this blazer. I wouldn't pick this one up again because it actually had a stain on the front there, and any staining on blazers is just not worth picking up unless it's a really good brand. This is just a Ralph Lauren men's blazer. Sold actually for $6 plus shipping, which is fine because I think I got this from a bulk bale purchase last year. Another really awesome brand is Stitches. These are some Stitches breeches, just some performance pants. Picked them up last week and they sold on a best offer of $25 plus shipping. So another brand to be looking out for when you guys go out sourcing. These were some women's Madewell pants that were listed 2 weeks ago and they sold for $19 plus shipping. Madewell is a brand that's fallen off quite a bit over the last few years. I only pick up the jeans if I find men's jeans, which I haven't, but women's, it needs to be like boot cut, flared leg, loose style jeans if I'm gonna pick them up. So kind of just going back to the topic of the video, you know, just the importance of picking up quality items and then learning the lesson that I, you know, put in a bunch of bad stuff in my store over the last year since we really moved into this warehouse, was really so focused on automating the process and making it easier for me to get inventory shipped here. So the lesson learned from me, and it doesn't mean it applies to you, but is don't take the easy way out and then don't just think that you can automate the sourcing process. I do believe that sourcing for any business, especially as a reseller, is one of probably the most important aspect to your business is sourcing, because your sourcing life is going to determine the quality of your store. It's going to determine how many sales you make in a given day. You know, it's going to really paint the picture of how your business is going to look. And over the course of the year, I was listing 50 items a day and the items were not good. So when you do that over and over again, you're also telling eBay that, you know, you're listing lower quality products. And yes, they know when you're listing junk. And since eBay has really changed, even in the last year, they really want to make a focus of putting quality, having you put quality stuff in your store. And you can see it reflective in the data. Just over the last month, I've really tried to pick the best items possible. Paying a little bit more, I don't mind. And you can see it just in the organic impressions. They're up almost, what, 150%? So that's amazing. And I really am thankful that I learned that, you know, because if I had kept doing that, I'd have a store so huge with very minimal sales and items in my store that I'm not proud of. Not saying you can't run a business that way. I just, with my time now, I want it to be focused on the best items possible. And it's really invigorated me and gotten the joy back into sourcing, where I was trying to just take the easy way out and have items shipped to me, buy bulk bales, and that wasn't the way. Not saying it could be the way for other people. Wasn't for me, wasn't my style. And I'm really liking it. I hope that you guys could take some lessons from, you know, my mistake as far as trying to just, you know, take the easy way out with sourcing. And I don't believe that you can, especially with that competitiveness that has risen just over the last couple years. And another brand I wouldn't be picking up again is Jag Jeans. What the? These are some women's jeans, size 12. They sold for $15 plus shipping and actually sold pretty quickly, but just not a brand I'm going to be picking up. This is a vintage women's alpaca wool cardigan. Still selling a lot of wool cardigans and wool sweaters, even though it's heating up outside. This actually sold for $13. I've been picking up a lot of Under Armour men's kind of golf pants, so they don't sell for like a ton of money, but these have been selling fast for me ever since I started grabbing them. This is a men's size 42-30. They're called the Showdown pant. These sold for $19 plus shipping. Here was an interesting brand. I just felt the quality and I had to look it up. There's not a ton of them listed, but the brand is Kiriko, Kiriko. I hope I spelled that right. It's like a Japanese brand made here locally in Portland. So there was like 6 listed, 5 sold. This sold within a couple days, just a men's, it's like a quarter button-up shirt, sold for $30 plus shipping. And some of them even sell for $50, $60. So that was a nice find. This is a men's Columbia sweater that sold for $12.48 plus shipping. This is a men's Zac Brown Band men's t-shirt, size extra large, sold for $17.95 plus shipping. Love picking up this brand in bigger sizes. It's just a Ralph Lauren plaid performance button-up shirt, listed a month ago, sold for $14 plus shipping. But the reason why I focus on the bigger sizes, just in general with most brands, is because the sell-through rates are generally a lot better than just like a small, medium, and large, especially in Ralph. All right, now we have a new with tags Travis Matthew Polo. It is a size extra large. So it wasn't new with tags, but it had like a company embroidery on the sleeve. I was still able to get $20 plus shipping on this, and I just listed it last week. Here we had some Quicksilver men's jeans, size 30-32. They are new with tags, and these took a while to sell, over a year and a half. Probably not a brand that I'm gonna be picking up. Quicksilver, some stuff maybe, but these sold for $20 plus shipping. And this is definitely a brand I'm not picking up, but this came from the storage unit 2 years ago. Timberland men's button-up long sleeve shirt, size small, sold actually for $17 plus shipping. All right, so we got all these orders going out. I gotta get them packed up, ready for USPS to come pick up here in an hour. Shouldn't take me too long. And just going over the importance of never settle on your sourcing, guys. Keep picking up good quality stuff and you will see the reward come back to you. I guarantee it. I mean, come on. Been able to be picking up my sales over the last month or two just from changing that little detail in my sourcing. So I hope that this was helpful for you guys to learn from my mistake. If you are looking for maybe some resources, I have them down below. I have an item specifics guide and then also a Bolo brand list that is going to be updated. I hope you all have a blessed rest of the day and we'll see you on Wednesday.